Chapter 111, It's my turn now. This person from the Wei nation spoke Huaxia's language awkwardly. Of course, I specialize in dice and defeating you in something I specialize in might not be fair. But, there are so many people here today, and we aren't gambling money, so what's important is the performance, isn't it? Su Cheng felt his hair standing up just from hearing this guy talk, so he immediately stopped him and said, Mr. Qunyi, just talk less and be more straightforward, how do you want to play? And if not money, what else do you want to gamble? Qunyi Janai laughed and said, very well, then I will get to the point. Let's compete in dice shaking, and the loser will leave. From 1 to 6 dice, how many do you want to play with? Su Cheng laughed and asked, only 6? Why not play with 10? Qunyi Janai immediately laughed out as well. Are you joking with me, Mr. Su? I was just saying 6 is the maximum number based on the fact that you might not know how to play. Each additional dice increases the difficulty exponentially, and not to mention 6, normal dice masters can barely handle 4. Su Cheng replied, I'm not joking with you, let's just go with 10 dice. Master Qin came closer to Qunyi Janai's ears and asked, is it going to be a problem? Qunyi Janai snorted, since he wants to be humiliated, then I will grant his wish. Immediately, he gestured towards Su Cheng, as if saying go ahead, and the two of them walked to a table. Then, someone brought over the dice and cups. A lot of people came over to the table again to watch. Today, besides gambling, these guests also wanted to witness the brilliant performance of some gambling masters. Just like soccer or basketball, watching a game is fun and all, but it will be even more thrilling if they could also see the pros showing off their skills. It was a rectangular table, with Qunyi Janai on one end and Su Cheng on the other. Qunyi Janai looked around at the audience in a very gentlemanlike manner, and then he looked towards Su Cheng and asked, big or small? Su Cheng thought for a second. In fact, he wasn't good with dice, but he immediately thought of a different way to win against this guy. He calmly said, what's the challenge in competing for big or small? These provocative words immediately ignited the crowd. Su Cheng said, if we are both pros at dice shaking, then when both of us gets the dice into a tower with 1 at the top, who's winning that round then? I just feel that it's not fun since that's all people do when it comes to competing in dice. This is just a game that tests a person's hearing and shaking abilities, and since that's the case, why not go for a more difficult game? For example, let's guess the number that each other rolls, how about that? Qunyi Janai hesitated for a moment. The crowd immediately sensed the fresh and stimulating feeling of the new play style, and they were immediately on board and cheered, yeah, why not try to listen for the numbers the opponent rolled? That's going to be the true test of a master's skill. Seeing Qunyi Janai frown, Master Qin came closer to him again and asked, are you not good at this? Qunyi Janai said, no, it's just that this game will be extremely difficult, and almost no one can accurately guess the other guy's dice. However, since I can shake out the dice numbers I want, then I can also guess the dice the other guy shakes out, so it's still very easy for me to beat him. Master Qin, very well, then I look forward to your performance. Qunyi Janai nodded, and then he immediately said loudly, okay, since Mr. Su likes to play this game, then let's play it. However, it's very difficult to accurately guess the other person's number, so will there be no winner if both sides can't get the right number? Su Cheng, correct, we must accurately guess the number, and there's no winner if we are off by even 1. Qunyi Janai bitterly smiled. Then we might as well not play, because both of us probably can't get it right. Su Cheng, oh, really? So you don't have the balls to play? Hearing how Su Cheng was trash-talking, all the spectators began booing Qunyi Janai, especially the people from Huaxia, as they all looked at this Wei nation dude with disdain since he was acting all high and mighty just moments ago. I can definitely beat you if we add or take 2 off the final number we roll. For example, if the numbers you rolled is 25, then it will count as me winning if my guess is within 23 or 27, how about that? Do you dare to play? I know you are just trying to make the game have no winner, and that's just boring. Su Cheng smiled. Sure, then we will do just that. Mr. Qunyi, you are our guest to this country, you can pick how many dice you want to go with. Qunyi Janai, I won't bully you, you can pick. Su Cheng, then let's play with 10. Qunyi Janai, good. The staff immediately brought over the dice. Su Cheng and Qunyi Janai each inspected the gadgets, and then Su Cheng said to Qunyi Jinai, "You can go first." Actually, it didn't matter who went first, and Qunyi Jinai didn't decline. He grabbed onto the shaker cup and moved it in one motion on the table, smoothly eating up all the dice. This performance immediately had the crowd applauding, since it was very difficult to eat all the dice in one swing, and it was clear that this man was very skilled. Da 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 da. The dice were knocking around inside the cup under Qunyi Jinai's hand. And if it was a movie, at this time, the protagonist would probably close his eyes and listen carefully with his ears. But in reality, Su Cheng just lit a cigarette and sat there, all relaxed. On the side, seeing how calm Su Cheng was, Shen Yao was a bit fascinated as she muttered to herself, "I just like how pretentious this D-bag is." Qunyi Jinai's cup was suddenly lifted into the air and then slammed back down onto the desk. Then, his hand left the table as he said, "Mr. Su, you can guess now." Su Cheng breathed out some white smoke and narrowed his eyes. No one noticed that his eyes lit up for a brief moment behind the rising smoke. The dice inside were immediately seen by his eyes. Right away, he laughed and said, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, so that's 33 points in total. You can open it now. When Qunyi Jinai lifted his cup, everyone immediately swarmed to the table to try and catch a look of the results. Someone immediately began counting out loud, 3 ones, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 3 5s, and 1 6, it's exactly what Mr. Su said. Holy crap, not only was the total number right, he even got each dice right. Jesus Christ! The crowd immediately exploded, and Qunyi Jinai also began sweating buckets down to his butt cheeks. Su Cheng smiled, and so did Shen Yao. Qunyi Jinai's face turned dark. Impossible! Impossible! How did he get all of it right? How did he get every single dice correct? Master Qin immediately squeezed to the table and said, "Stop shoving, it's not even over yet. Mr. Su, you can shake the cup now." Su Cheng then moved his cigarette to the side of his mouth, rolled up his sleeves, and said, "It's my turn now." Many people thought he would then be like in the movies and start displaying some next-level techniques, and even Shen Yao wanted to know if Su Cheng knew how to shake dice. However, what happened next shocked the crowd once again. They just watched as Su Cheng picked up the dice one by one to put into the cup. Shen Yao almost coughed up blood at the sight of this.